Hey guys, I share Rachel Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you're going through something and you need them out there today. Guys, hey, speaking of positive vibes, need them out there today. This might not resonate with 90% of you guys, but I saw this video, actually listened to it. The background is kind of a little cringy, just like generic stuff. But Alan Watts, life is just a game and here's how to hack it. Man, this really hit me at the time that I needed to hear exactly what he was saying in this video. I'll leave it in the description of this video. You guys can watch it afterwards if you so choose to. But yeah, it was good. Also, if you want to know personal stuff about yours truly, I just shared on my booktube video, I just shared 8 books. I've read, hundreds, thousands of books in my life, and only 8 have actually made me viscerally cry. And yeah, in a personal video, I made a video about a list, about those books and recommendations for you guys. So anyway, in today's video, here and now, Ash, on this Raid Shadow Legends YouTube channel, I do this from time to time. Every few months, I talk about all the champions that I've maxed in the previous month or two, right? So today, I want to take it from where I left off in the last time that we did an installment of these videos, and I want to talk about the last 14 legendaries and 1 mythical that I've maxed out since I touched base with you guys. This is great because it's almost an addendum to the shard opening videos that we release here on the channel, right? Because, you saw me pull, I want to say almost all of these champions. I think at least 11 out of the 14 or 15 that we talk about here. But what was my experience afterwards? Did they live up to the hype? Did they disappoint me? How am I using them on my account? That is the goal of this series here, I want to say, on the channel. Now, one more caveat. I'm only including champions that I pulled and actually built and used, right? A lot. So for example, one of my last shard opening videos, I pulled Matriarch Zarguna. Yeah, I built her, but I haven't used her enough to really give her a grade and a final verdict, so to speak here. So, okay, everything out of the way? No, one more. I'm an endgame account. I'm playing this game for 6-7 years or whatever, right? I spend money on this game. So what is beautiful and helpful and high ranking to me might not be the same for all accounts out there. This is just my opinion based on my experience, nothing more and nothing less. All right, so only 1 mythical, only one. I've gotten 1 mythical. I've been very, very lucky. Out of a remnant summons, it's Comedus, Dark Smile. Did I say comedian? Tell us a joke, Comedus. Tell us a joke, big fella. Go ahead.
My life is nothing but a comedy.
What does that even mean anymore?
Waka, waka, waka. All right, so Comedus Dark Smile, man. Listen, I'm not going to go through his entire kit. I'm actually going to pull up these champions in my collection, right? We don't have to go to the index. Some of them I have gear on. Some of them, obviously, I don't because of the nature of muling gear around in this game right now. Comedus, I do have gear on. This is how I have him built. I have a whole video outlining, my Comedus build and how much I love this dude. Listen, he's an S-tier champion to me. He might not be the best mythical in the entire game, but he's certainly top 5, I would say, and I love PvP. I love burns, I love bombs, and I love poisons, right? I love Calvalaxes and Nells and Volcanoses and Sulfurians and Gizmax and Comeduses, oh my, and Nishaks, right? So I love, this guy's right up my alley, okay? So I love him. Yeah, I said that. He has 2 big moves, right, on Comedus. I mean, the rest of his kit is amazing, but I'm not here to talk 20 minutes about Comedus, right? But he has this Agony Overwhelming, where he's removing buffs, placing a block active skills, and stealing turn meter. This is so good because not every situation is going to warrant going into alternate form and bombing, aka if they have block debuffs, right? If a Sivir or a Duchess or whomever goes before you do, but you still have a nasty ability to lean on the base form. And then, of course, his explosive showstopper, the big bomb and bomb detonation ability. S tier, I rank him a 9.5 out of 10. How about that? All right, next up is going to, speaking of 9.5 or higher out of 10, next up is going to be, these are in no particular order, by the way, but it's going to be Leonardo. Yeah, basically picking this video up from Michelangelo onwards. So the last, 2 months, give or take, in the game. Leonardo, man. Finally got my hands on Leo. I made a video. The verdict is in, the best builds on all the Ninja Turtles, right? Where I shared a few variations of the most meta builds for every Ninja Turtle. In Leonardo, I finally showcased him a little bit on my account, right? Dude, this guy matched or lived up to all the hype and more. The only shame about Leonardo is that you can't use him in live arena. I mean, you can, but he's ban bait times 1,000,000, right? You can't just pull off that turtle team. That being said, I looked at my clan siege today, and it's like everything's freaking for Ninja Turtles, man. I mean, I looked at Classic Arena in Platinum right now. I'm low plat right now. in so many four Ninja Turtles teams. It's so cool, honestly, and it's all on the back of Leonardo, right? I love this build on him, the 4-piece Feral and the 4-piece Stone Skin. Let me just say, though, going in with this A3, it's so difficult to stop, right? When you're with the other Ninja Turtles, especially, the Turtles together can just absolutely decimate your entire squad. He is amazing. Having the, the increased defense, the ally protection with that busted passive, joining in all the attack synergy, but that passive, man, with the Stone Skin. Oh, Leo. Listen, to me, Leo is a 10 out of 10. I think that Leonardo is one of the best champions released in recent memory. I absolutely love me some Leo. I'm trying to make a point to show masteries and relics and blessings on all of these champions as well, just so you guys, can see how I have them built on my account. All right, next up, well, let's talk about good old Michelangelo, right? Mikey. So Mikey was the freebie, but let me tell you, and I have him in just basic Stone Skin and Savage, right? But let me tell you, Mikey is no schlub at all, guys. He's a really good champion, really solid. I have Last Laugh Amulet on him. I have Lightning Cage, and here are the Masteries. Kind of a PvE build for the most part. Actually, it's kind of a hybrid with the Stone Skin on there as well, but I just run him in this all the time. He's a unique turtle with this A2, especially with that debuff spread, as well as, and this is taking all debuffs. I mean, that's really nasty to have. And then he has that stun on one target with a decreased defense on everybody, potentially. Excuse me, I get choked up talking about the Ninja Turtles, man. I love the taunt on him, man. I love the taunt. I love the decreased attack. I love the leech. I think he's a really interesting champion. He has some survivability with that evade. We saw that on Loki. I think that Michelangelo is one of the better free champions that we've gotten in recent memory. So I'm going to go ahead and give Michelangelo I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. I don't know. I think it's a pretty fair score. That's like a fair score. 7.5 out of 10. For me, that's good. What do the reviews say on him? I mean, I think these reviews are fair. So what is this? Is this 7.5? 8? I don't know. Mikey is really, really, really solid. Especially, I mean, we're always grading on a curve with the Ninja Turtles, right? If you're with the other Ninja Turtles, Mikey could be a freaking 9, right? Because when they're together, especially with Leo on the team, I mean, you're cooking. You're cooking with fire. All right, next up is going to be, let's just do it. Osama, roll the opera sequence.
Are you winning, son? Son.
Sanguine Maria. That's right, it's Sanguine Maria, guys. Listen, Sanguine Maria, we had a lot of fun with her. I really enjoy this champion quite a bit. I really do. I think this Halloween fusion, even despite all the drama with the nerf after she was released and everything that subsequently happened with Sanguine Maria, I think she's a really neat champion. I'm on record already, and I know that there's varying opinions here, strong opinions from all kinds of creators, community members, you guys, right? But I am against the nerf. I think they should not have nerfed her, honestly. I think they overreacted, frankly, and I don't think anybody's to blame other than Plarium on this one, to be very clear. Man, I'm against the nerf. I thought she was great as is, but she wasn't game-breaking without, like, ridiculous relics and gear and everything on. So I'm bummed out that they nerfed her, and I think it did make a huge impact because I don't think she's S tier in the arena. And I don't think she's certainly not S tier anywhere in PvE either, except for maybe Fire Knight normal. So where does that end up putting her? I think, unfortunately, it puts her at like a 6 out of 10, which is a bummer. That being said, I really like her kit a lot. But, you know, there's a lot of math. Not really, but there's a lot of RNG, let's just say, right? Because you can't plan everything on Sanguine Maria when you're using her. So because of that, I'm really bummed out to say, outside of a couple Centranos areas, I don't really use her on my account, you know? Now, that being said, I can see that she could be very useful on a lot of other accounts out there, just depending on what you're focused on in the game. Either way, I think she's a neat champion, but overall, I give her a 6 out of 10. Gore Crescent, I have Soul Reap on her, and I have a Helm Smasher. So an arena build, kinda, sorta. I do have her in 9-piece Merciless as well. So that's Sanguine Maria. Sanguine Maria, I give her a 6 out of 10. I'm really curious on Sanguine Maria, maybe more so than anybody else here, guys. If you went for the fusion, you know, in all honesty, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Where do you rank her? Let me know in the comments below. Next up is going to be a reviver, and this is Venalicia? What the hell's her name, man? It's Venalicia Thrall Mother. There we go. So Venalicia Thrall Mother is a Knight Revenant. She's one of the newer champions that I've maxed out on my account. And let me tell you, she's really good. She's actually really nasty. Really good base stats. Look at that speed. You can see my build. I have a Bolster, Immortal, and Pinpoint on her. Accuracy is paramount on her. This is definitely not a PvP build, rather, for the arena. You can kind of use her everywhere. She's kind of a triple threat. You can basically, you know, she is good overall utility, and she's very, very unique for a Reviver. I love that about her. This, by the way, is probably not the best build in the game. I just think I had this for a Centrano stage or something like that. Wand of Submission on her, of course. But what does she do? She has a triple hitter. Great with a weaken on the A1. Fantastic. Good, obviously, Fire Knight situations, stuff like that. She has an AoE attack, but she's removing all buffs from all enemies before attacking. And then she places block buffs and a decreased defense. I'm using her in one of my main as a Reviver, who can also bring a decreased defense and a block buffs with buff removal in Hydra Clan Boss, man. I mean, I want to say off the top of the head, there's no Reviver like this in Raid Shadow Legends, you know? Not who has buff removal, block buffs, decreased defense on an AoE, 3-turn cooldown, and the revive. She has an AoE revive, 50% HP, 50% turn meter. If all of the allies are dead, you get a boost there. Decrease the cooldown of all allies' skills by 1 turn. Also, increase the cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns. Very good in wave content, makes her a threat also in areas like PvP. In the arena, I don't really use her. I don't have her awakened, I don't have her empowered. You know, it's only half the battle pulling the champion. You gotta build them and max them afterwards. Damn it, Raid Shadow Legends. But this could be very intriguing in areas like the arena as well. And then she has Pain Link on the passive. She has Turn Meter Fill, basically a built-in timely intervention, or very close to. On her passive, which is really cool, heals this champion whenever they're attacked by an enemy under Pain Link. Plays a Pain Link for 2 turns on enemies who deal damage 25% or more to an ally's max HP with a single skill. That is not a very high threshold to clear. Man, she's a very interesting champion. I'm going to give her an 8 out of 10, and who knows, maybe that score will go up a little bit in the future, but a very, very competent and special and unique Reviver added to the game somewhat recently. Speaking of Revivers, I've actually invested in quite a few. Prava, man, if I could spell, it'd be fantastic. Prava the Slitherer. Dude, she is also exceptionally good. I think I mentioned this in a video, I don't know, a week ago or something like that. But what if Elva Autumnborn and White Queen Ancora had a baby? Boom! Prava the Slitherer! So that's what they name her, Prava. All right, guys, listen. She's really good. She's a demon spawn. She's super fast, 110 base speed. She's very tanky as well. I've got a wand on her because I was using her on an all demon spawn team in the arena with Volcanos and Cometus and Lamasu. It was so much fun. Listen, she's a very unique Reviver. She's got a great heal, an increased speed, and an increased defense on an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown. There's like 5 Revivers in the entire game with an AoE increased defense. Isn't that crazy? Glaciat, it's on his revival. Dawncaller Sabbatha, Ursula the Mortar, it's on her revival as well. And who else? Who else is there? Bellatar Mage Slayer. I think that's it. There might be one more. That's it. So this is a very unique skill set. Why do I like it so much? You can put her with, I don't know, a Volcanos, a defense-based damage dealer, and she can give them that damage ability as well. She has that revive, 100% HP, fully resets the cooldown of all their skills, and then kind of White Queen-esque here on her passive. She is doing a lot of stuff. She's transferring debuffs from allies to herself. Then she can transfer them back on the A1, right? Really cool. Can't be resisted if she's under 3 or more debuffs, which isn't that hard because she's sucking up all these other debuffs from your allies. Unlike Ancora, though, she's not soaking? She's not grabbing the debuffs. I don't know. I can't find a good adjective here, guys. She's not taking those debuffs. There we go. The CC debuffs. Sorry, I'm flustered here, guys. She's taking everything other than the CC debuffs, okay? At the end of the champion's turn, she fills the turn meter of all allies by 10%, an additional 2% for each debuff on this champion. This is great, too. It kind of is reminiscent of the Raka Viletide's creep passive, right? She's doing so much. Turn meter fill, big heals, reviving, debuff cleansing, speed in all battles, not by 19. Eat that. Ancora and Elva. She's doing it by 20 in all battles, 20%, ladies and gentlemen. These are the masteries. And of course, I have another wand of submission. Did I say that already? Man, I love Preva. I think I'm going to give her a 9 out of 10. I think she's really good, and I criminally underrated her. I don't think I was even that excited when I pulled her. Unbelievable. Hey, I'm not done with revivers yet, guys. We're going to Highkeeper Prisma. Look at that shield. Holy macaroni and cheese. That is an amazing shield. Amazing aesthetics on this dude. I absolutely love it. He's a very unique reviver as well. He's got a stun on the A1. After attacking, he's transferring debuffs from the ally with the most debuffs to the target. He doesn't need to soak him or suck him or grab him. He could just use his A1. It just goes right to the target. That's great. And then he has this really unique A2 ability with the ally with the highest crit damage is going to join the attack and ignore 35% of the target's defense. And then if you kill him, he gets an instant turn. That ally gets an instant turn, your biggest nuker, basically. He has a pretty decent revive. Nothing crazy, but nothing bad, certainly. And then a very interesting passive where he's basically taking the good form of buffs and converting them to the bad form of buffs. At a 40% clip. Wow, what a cool reviver. I'll be honest, I don't like Highkeeper Prisma quite as much as the other two revivers. I'm gonna give him maybe a 7.5 out of 10. This is just one of those weird kits that with my account, again, like I said earlier, this is just me, but with my account, tried him out kind of all over, and he just didn't give me, he wasn't value over replacement anywhere for me, and I thought he'd be a menace in the arena, and he can be. He's also a sheep, target with all of those, everything that he's doing in terms of manipulation with the passive and the A1. But at the end of the day, I just kind of lacked the AoE revive, and he's really different, which can work in our advantage in so many situations, but also sometimes from your reviver, you're looking for essential things. You're looking for maybe that cleanse, that block debuffs, that increased speed, those essential buffs, whatever it may be. And he's lacking in those departments, so it's very tough to slot him in, even though the kit reads really, really well. So I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10, but a really freaking cool champion. All right, guys, let's talk about Shredder. Shredder, man, the nostalgia hits hard on Shredder, guys. What can I say? I love Shredder, man. This dude's tough to kill. He's got a little mini Taurus going on, maybe, kind of, sort of, not really. Not the damage, but the survivability, right? So he's built like a freaking tank, and he can evade like a mofo. The best evader in Raid Shadow Legends. Eat that, Loki. But honestly, guys, the damage is so lackluster on this dude, and that's the big problem, right? Like, the kit is super cool. I love what he's doing. I love how he's built. I just like everything about the idea, but the damage just isn't there for me to be excited about Shredder. It's a shame, because this dude could be, forget Ishiyama. He could be Taurus-like in the pantheon of HP-based nukers, but he's just far, far, far from it, unfortunately. So, Shredder, as much as I love him, and I want to give him a huge score, unfortunately, I have to give him a, I guess a 6 out of 10, and that might just be the nostalgia talking. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Certainly can use this dude, but I really wish they'd give him a little bit of a buff to that damage, because he could be a really cool champion, but he needs some Jingguan treatment. He needs a mediocre Void legendary, HP based, but they need to ramp it up a notch. Make him really feel like that boss from the Shredder dungeon, not this version of Shredder. That's my opinion. That's Shredder, 6 out of 10. Well, I did allude to the fact that I pulled a few champions off air. I pulled a few legendaries off air. There's actually 2 coming up right now, and one of them is Arathea Corpse Flower. She's a Sylvan Watcher legendary champion, and she sucks big time. It's deflating when Plarium releases a really crappy Void legendary, because you just feel like they're just watering down the damn pool, doesn't it? And that's what it feels like with her. Like, it really sucks to have a brand new legendary champion who actually looks really cool. Like, I love the aesthetics here. It sucks to have a new legendary champion, a Void legendary champion, that immediately goes to the top of your list of champions you want to see buffed. Okay, listen, I'm gonna be really short and sweet with her. In AoE ×2, she's kind of like the Thea the Tomb Angel version of, I don't know, a slight upgrade to Thea the Tomb Angel or something like that, meaning that everything gets better and synergizes with Hex in her kit, right? That being said, let me tell you guys, she doesn't do that much damage at all. She hits like a freaking wet noodle, and it sucks. You know, even with the increased damage, it wasn't that crazy, especially for a Void Legendary. The cool thing about her kit, though, she has a bunch of turn meter fill. She has Death Brand, her and Queen of Hearts, right? And she brings increased accuracy to help you know, make sure we're placing that Death Brand. So I like her and build her for damage at the same time. But her damage just really, really stinks. That's it. So Arethea, Corpse Flower, unfortunately, I'm going to give you a 3 out of 10. Maybe because I'm just super bitter that you watered down the damn champion pool. And it looks like most people agree with me. I'm really disappointed. I really don't use her anywhere. I tried her, I put her in my best gear, and alas, just a big, big disappointment for me, unfortunately. Raphael is cool but rude. Yeah, it's Raphael, baby. Listen, Raffi is a beast. And I'm going to be real with you guys. Initially, when the Ninja Turtles were released, I think I picked Raffi as my third favorite Ninja Turtle. And honestly, well, I'm going to continue being real with you guys. I think he is still my third favorite Ninja Turtle. That's not to say he's the third best or worst or whatever you want to say. He's insanely good. I just love Leo and Donnie so much personally, but that's a preference for the type of champions they are. It's not an indictment on Raphael, excuse me. This block revive on the A1 is insanely good. It's kind of reminiscent of Embry's A1 or maybe a Phoenix A1, Phenax, whatever you want to call him. But this dude is, you know, maybe next to Leo, the best raw damage dealer out of the Ninja Turtles, and that's saying a lot because they're great damage dealers, all of them. He has that Ninja Turtle kind of synergy, but he brings that Berserk debuff. That Berserk debuff is going to allow him to do 50% extra damage and take 50% more damage, so he is squishy in some areas as well. Got to make sure you have a reviver, or at least you're able to take advantage of that unkillable Perfect Veil on his Not Today Knuckleheads, which absolutely smacks as well. This is my favorite build. Actually, it's not my favorite build. I usually run him in the arena with Stone Skin or Triple Reaction and 6-piece Merciless. Let me just put him in that build. Why not, right? Why not put him in my normal? That's why not. I forgot to save it as a damn champion preset. Don't you hate when that happens, man? Save all your champion presets, even more important than global presets, because you can just go find, for the champion that you need, you can find the exact gear that you want. Anyway, I digress. Triple reaction and a 6-piece Merciless is how I run my Raphael. Last Laugh Amulet on him as well. Listen, Cat's Gaze is going to be better on all of these champions, but I only have 2 Cat's Gaze. One's on Siegfried, one is on my Titus, and I'm not going to pay the damn Star Stoles to move those around. Okay, those are the masteries. Lightning Cage on Raph, and yeah, that's the build. Raph is a beast. I give him a 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. Let's just do Donnie. What the hell, right? Donatello. He's my second favorite Ninja Turtle. I think that he is so unbelievably good. This is my PvE build. I just ran a Hydra run. Relentless speed, a little bit of chronophage. Let me go ahead and show you the arena build as well. The PvP. We have my man built with Stone Skin 6-piece, 1 supersonic, and 2 chronophage as well on him. Man, wait a sec. I forgot the, another note to self out here, a note to you guys. Make sure you change the accessories as well. PvP, there we go. So we want our Donnie, if you can pull it off on your accounts. I am so confident that this is the best build for him in the arena, right? 6-piece Stone Skin, 2-turn Stone Skin with as high as resistance and speed as you can possibly muster, okay? So 727 on the resist, 331 on the speed, 88k on the HP. We could stand to go a little bit higher on the resist. I have a Wand of Submission on him. Why is he so good with high resist? I have Lightning Cage as well. Because he has a cleanse. Okay, that's number 1. And number 2 is he can go in after the reset of your allies, and he can reduce their skill cooldowns as well, provided he resists, right? So insanely good champion. I love his kit. He's bringing so much to the table. Insanely good passive with his preemptive hit. These are the masteries that I have on my Donnie as well. I'm going to give Donnie a 9 out of 10. Maybe even a freaking 9.5, man. I think he's one of the better fusions this entire year in Raid Shadow Legends, and he's just a complete champion. You can use him basically anywhere, even alone, right? Unlike some of the other Ninja Turtles. I mean, you can, but like I think the Donnie is that effective, that impactful to your account. What a beast of a champion. All right, guys, the next one is going to be Onryu Ieyasu, or Ieyasu. It's an I. I always say Ieyasu. I apologize. Onryu Ayasu. There we go. Listen, this dude's a monster. He definitely lived up to the hype. I don't have my gear on him. I muled it around. But man, this dude, listen, he's a damage dealer in every sense of the word. He has block revive in his kit. He has really hard hitting ignore stone skin, shield strengthen. I don't use him in the arena because I have no empowerment and I have a 2-star awakening on him, but I certainly could still use him in the arena. He's kind of like, I have a Georgid who's fully awakened, so I have other options on my account. That's not to say take anything away from him. He can surprise a lot of players by how he can just decimate a team in the arena as well. He has this surplus damage as well. He's fantastic in Hydra. Use him as one of my main Hydra damage dealers, and he does not disappoint. Big boy damage here. So hey, for Ayasu, we're gonna go ahead and give him a I guess the only knock on him is he's fairly one-dimensional, but that one dimension, I mean, he's a freaking damage dealer. He's a nuker in every sense of the word. I'm like debating with myself right now. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. I think he's that good as a damage dealer. He's just one of the best out there in the game, in my opinion. Great raw damage there. But I was let down by a champion recently, and I haven't talked about it to anybody. Let's talk about him next. All right, guys. So I pulled Gaspard the Accused. I wanted this guy so freaking badly. At the top of the shard opening video where I was going for him, I was like, dude, he's one of the he could be one of the biggest game changers we've seen in a while. Very unique champion. He reads exceptionally good, and unfortunately, I hate to say this, and I know people who have him are probably going to disagree hard, based on the reviews at least. But man, I was really let down by him, unfortunately. I hate to say it, but I got to be real too. He has an AoE, decrease attack, and weaken on his A1 for 1 turn, 75% land rate, not bad. On his A2, he's got an AoE provoke, an increased defense, and a shield on all allies. Fantastic, right? And then he attacks one enemy, ignoring life barrier, poison cloud, shield block damage as well. If the target's killed, he revives a random dead ally, will ignore block revive debuffs. That's very rare. It's a counter to the Raphaels or the Embries of the world or the Queen of Hearts, etc., etc. A block revive on the targets killed by this skill. And it keeps going, keeps getting better here. Whenever the champion kills an enemy or decapitates a Hydra head, fills a turn meter of all allies and heals them. And then, whenever an enemy is revived, instantly activates the You Stand Accused skill, right, against that enemy. If multiple enemies are revived, the initial target of the revive will be targeted. 50% chance to activate You Stand Accused skill on an enemy whenever an ally is killed. Instantly activates the You Stand Accused skill against a Hydra head whenever an ally is consumed by the head as well. Doesn't put it on cooldown. All right, so listen, this kit reads insanely good, insanely good. There's just one problem, and it's kind of a big one. This dude, even with the ignore defense, the You Stand Accused doesn't do that much damage, man. You know? Now listen, I have him 1-star awakened, obviously no empowerment, but I put him in my best gear, like my Allah's gear, like my best defense-based nuke, my Marius gear. And dude, it was just like, he just wasn't doing that much damage, you know? And it sucks because there's all this synergy, but all the synergy requires them to die, you know? And he wasn't killing anybody at all, right? Even in my best gear. So maybe I just need to, you know, wait till I have him awakened or something. But boy, he did not, and this AoE didn't do that much damage at all either. So what does he end up being? He ends up being, I don't know, he ignores block damage too. Like, dude, this guy should be a beast. But with all that being said, for me on my account, from my experience so far, he's kind of a cool provoker and increased defense and shield champion, but not a ton of damage. And for me, for this kit to be as amazing as it reads, he needs to do some big boy damage. It just wasn't there, so I was a bit disappointed. All that said, the kit itself is a 10 out of 10. But in reality, based on that fact, for me, he's more of a 6.5 out of 10. Not to say that he can't be useful, but that's unfortunately been my experience. Next, it's time to talk about April O'Neil. April. I'm going to be real with you guys. Really cool kit. I like the Ace Report. I'm not going to sit here and read it to you guys. Obviously, there's all the bugs with the Nullify debuff, right? But they're not intended, and I don't know if they've been fixed yet. They're really slacking on fixing stuff with these bugs. Sometimes it can be months and months, right? There's new bugs out there with Nullify against the Ninja Turtles as well. That all being said, that's not as intended either. She has an extra turn mechanic. She has a decreased turn meter of all enemies. Really cool. This ability, I wish it did something else in addition to, right? How about like an increased turn meter vault allies by 20% in addition to this? A little Shuzen action, a little Lysandra action here. That would make her a lot more viable for me. You know, because she's pretty fast too, a 108 base speed. She could be kind of like a go first turn meter booster, but she doesn't bring enough for me to get super excited about her, unfortunately. So April O'Neil to me is kind of like a, I don't know. I hate to say this because initially I was really intrigued by this passive, but it doesn't activate quite as much as you'd think, and there is the cooldown to take into consideration as well on the active effect. So put it all together, outside the bugs, I'll give her like a 5.5 out of 10, unfortunately. And last, but certainly not least, is the Cheshire Cat. Yeah, I pulled this guy finally, part of the Alice event. And let me tell you, if some of the champions on this list disappointed me, Cheshire Cat did not. He lived up to all the expectations and more. This cat smacks. No damage problems for the Cheshire Cat, right? What's so beautiful about Cheshire Cat? Well, obviously his damage, the extra turn mechanic, the fact that he brings his own increased attack, that he brings his own perfect veil, helping to keep this dude alive. But then he has the block damage and the perfect veil as well to preempt that fatal hit. You put it all together, it allows you great versatility for how you build this champion. For a squishy ass nuker, this cat can stay alive with the best of them, with those perfect veils and the block damage, and deal a ton of damage. We're talking really, outside mythicals like the Calamitous, and even including the Calamitous, he's up there with the best attack-based spirit nukers in the entire game. This dude is a 9 out of 10. Kind of like Ayasu. He's, you know, fairly one-dimensional. He's all about the damage. He's not doing much else. But actually, you know what? Screw that. He's decreasing enemy speed. That's unique and special too, damn it, you know? So he is bringing some cool, unique things to the table as well. His damage does scale off his own speed additionally. So you definitely want to use speed on the boots on this dude. You don't want to go all out with like attack percentage. But man, oh man, Cheshire Cat is amazing. I've been using him all the time. I absolutely love him. I'm going to give him, did I already say, a 9 out of 10. There it is, guys. That's the last 15 or 14 or 16 champions that I've maxed on my account. Where do you agree with me and where do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.